Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Look, y'all, I was fighting for my life. Mr. Z was fighting for his life to be on time. Y'all have no idea how much I had to rush just now. Like, Z was really fighting for his life, y'all. Um, and shout out to all of y'all. Thank you for your patience. My apologies. Like, this was not supposed to happen. Like, it's difficult to explain, but yeah, this was definitely, um, yeah, this wasn't supposed to happen, right? So my apologies for that, everyone. But thank you for being here, right? Thank you for being here. And so we're gonna get our dander up. Blood pressure is about to boil tonight, right? And for those of you that can kind of hear the echo, this is not a reckless streams, right? Um, but it is obviously later than what was it was supposed to be. Better yet, um, and hopefully you guys click the link in the description box, click the different links. Shout out to Trail Bentley. I did not this time only give y'all 30 minutes to review all of the links. Excuse me, although I did put the Phil from the Advice Show link a little bit later. That might be the second or third link, maybe the fourth, possibly. And it's Phil reviewing that news clip that we have all seen a million times in the Black Manosphere, with the news anchors speaking about economically unattractive men leading to a downturn in marriage. Abba and Preach, I've reviewed it twice now, that same link, but it's interesting listening to Phil's point of view and reading through the comments and even seeing some of the women respond and react to that, right? So, um, and Sahel says, "Are we in the basement or warehouse?" Neither, actually. We're good. We're good, right? Um, so let's get into it. If y'all check out this link, the first link, so this is what we're going to be reviewing today. You will see it's from a brother off of TikTok. I think his name is I am LaShawn. I am LaShawn. Um, and obviously, Mr. Z does not have. And yes, I'm waffles. I did get your links. I did get your links, right? And I am LaShawn. Looks like a brother probably under the age of 35, maybe even under the age of 30, but he looks like a brother under the age of 35. And as Mr. Z was saying last night, the obsession with empowerment language directed towards Black women. And obviously, when you are congratulating Black women, when you are valorizing Black women, you always have to punch down, either subtly or overtly. You always have to punch down on Black men. Yes, Dr. Richard Reeves, it is a zero-sum game according to Black women and the people that pander to them. Notice what I did not say. I did not say support them. I did not say protect them. I did not say any of that. I said the people that pander to them. And so what you saw with Mr. I am LaShawn, and y'all could send him this and the requisite links, Mr. I am LaShawn, you will see coverage, different material. I'm going to link the and I didn't do it already, so I'm going to do that. The Black Enterprise Institute research. I'm going to link the actual St. Louis Federal Reserve data and information. I am LaShawn, and this is important. I am glad that he framed what he framed the way he framed it, because it speaks to much of what I was speaking about last night, right? Which is, once again, Black women and the Black men and non-Black folks that speak up on their behalf. There is an angst, there is an anger that Black women have because they feel as if they're stuck in the Black community when ungrateful misogynist, ungrateful sexist, ungrateful failed white patriarchs, ungrateful colorist, texturist, featurist, homophobic, anti-women, drooling out the mouth, dumb idiots. And every once in a while, one of these dumb idiots will be athletically inclined, right? They'll be physically imposing, and they'll be NFL players or NBA players or any type of physical, obviously sports, right? And those big dumb idiots will make millions of dollars, and those big dumb idiots are still obviously, once again, sexist, misogynist, colorist, futurist, texturist losers that just so happen to have money, aka Cam Newton. What you saw from I Am LaShawn was him speaking to that. What you see from Yanni with her title, oh, they're not gonna like this, is her speaking to that. If you read through her comment section, it's a bunch of women capping, right? Exactly, Indigo Flow. Black men are a bunch of knuckle draggers, sexist, colorist, futurist, losers who are both hyper masculine and effeminate. Don't ask how these things occupy the same space at the same time. Don't ask. Don't look for consistency, right? So, what you see from I Am LaShawn, what you see from Real Talk with Yenny, and what you see in her comment section are women and men, black men and black women, who have fully bought into the propaganda, the female empowerment propaganda, right? The black female empowerment propaganda, right? The wish fulfillment propaganda of black women. The idea that black women are just wholeheartedly outpacing black men, just out and out outpacing black men, right? And that they're stuck in the black community with these underachieving loser black men that unfortunately they love and they're way too loyal to, right? It's a bunch of black women in Yanni's comment section saying, thank you. At least he said it, right? Preach, right? Of course. And I want to be very clear why this type of language matters in the discussion. Because it's not about upliftment of black women in a vacuum. It is upliftment of black women while denigrating black men. It is implying, suggesting, inferring, and just outright saying sometimes that black women are doing well in spite of being shackled to incapable, inept black men, right? Black women are shackled to the bottom, not because they're not talented and attractive and hardworking and play by the rules. No, black women are shackled to the bottom because they're shackled to black men, right? Black women are shackled to blackness and they're trying to shake off the blackness that associates them with black men, right? So I am LaShawn, or LaShawn, better yet, I am LaShawn, says he's tired of this gold digger talk. These women are doing better than men financially. Obviously, this is a black man, so he's probably speaking about black men and black women's relationship. To I am LaShawn, no, black men still earn more than black women. We're not talking about non-black folks. And in the comments for Yanni, you will see a woman say that. Well, you know that this is not the case for non-black folks. This is the case in the black community. No, ma'am, you are incorrect. To I am LaShawn, Yanni clipped your video and she put it up on her channel, right? That might apply to Real Talk with Yanni. Real Talk with Yanni has her own issues. She's an insufferable a-hole who one of her close homeboys didn't even want to pipe. Oops. Who's allergic to I'm sorry, I'm not allergic to. Who's hypnotized by rose toys. Oops. Huh? This might apply to Real Talk with Yanni, the financial element of it all. But it does not apply to most of her subscribers. Most of those women in her comment sections are lying. How do we know? Because the numbers say so. 8% or so of women in America earn over $100,000 a year. That's women writ large. That's not black women. Okay, fine. Black women have the least amount of wealth. Single black women, excuse me. Single black women. Did you hear that, Mr. LaShawn? I am LaShawn. Single black women have the least amount of wealth in America, right? Black men not only have more wealth than black women by nearly 3 times, despite being under the thumb of white supremacy and being the number one target, you hear me? The number one target of white male and white female and black female aggression. Black men still have 3 times just about more wealth than black women. Now, once again, Mr. Z still stand by what he's always said: black men and black women are attached by the hip. The issue is that one of us is punching down on the other one. Hi, black women. Okay, let's continue. Not only do black men have more wealth than black women by nearly 3 times, black men earn more than black women. Black men start more businesses than black women. Black men are in less debt than black women. Black men employ more people than black women when we have businesses. Huh? Let this be an example to everyone. What Mr. I am LaShawn did here is a prime example of what we always say. You cannot speak positively about black women without punching down on black men. This conversation about black women being gold diggers, yes, Mr. I am LaShawn, yes, they're swaggy begging. That's what we call it over here. So instead of telling us about that $60,000 student loan debt, and instead of telling us about that baby luxury car that they're struggling to pay off every month, and instead of telling us about the portion of their apartment that they're struggling to pay, what they do is they date men for foodie calls, and they tell these men, oh, this is what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to pay for everything. A man is supposed to pay at this highest level. A man is supposed to provide me with luxuries. Mr. I am LaShawn, this is their way of not coming up the middle and saying, yeah, don't let this all this nice stuff fool you. I'm struggling financially. Yes, they are gold diggers, Mr. I am LaShawn. LaShawn, sorry. Mr. I am LaShawn. Mr. I am LaShawn, in my description box is Shay Sade covering the evictions that's going on with women, black women specifically. Huh? Mr. LaShawn, half of the median household income is $75,000 a year. That's overall in America. That's not just black Americans. That's not specific to black Americans. Where are all these kick-ass black women in Real Talk with Yanni's comment section? Where the hell are they coming from? Half of American households earn less than $75,000 a year. And yet it's a whole lot of black women in Real Talk with Yanni's comment sections capping. Huh? They're not doing better than black men. There are 500,000 more black men that earn $50,000 a year or more than black women. And every single income bracket over $50,000, there are more black men. Mr. I am LaShawn, I get it. I'm a black man too. I was born and raised in America also. I understand how heavy the propaganda is. I understand the want and the need to come to black women's rescue because these sexist, misogynistic, a-hole black men keep on denigrating black women. And don't they understand the Queen Earth Mother Goddess can do no wrong? Especially concerning black men. She's always on the right side of history. I understand the propaganda, brother. I understand the push. But you're wrong. And you're on the wrong side of history. Not only are you wrong about this, you're on the wrong side of history, period. And shout out to you, Real Talk with Yanni, for copying this and posting it on your channel with your title. Shout out to Gen Z black men. Shout out to young millennial black men. Shout out to all of you that is increasing that interracial marriage rate. Once again, newlywed black men interracially marrying at nearly 25%. Instead of being married to a Real Talk with Yanni and being chastised by brothers like I Am LaShawn. Y'all want the black community? You can have it. Because it's not really the black community there, it's the single baby mama community. And no, you don't have to be a single baby mama to be in the community. Real Talk with Yanni. Chrissy, oops. Hmm? It's a whole lot of black people who have truly bought into this. Everyone from Tyler Perry to Rebecca Lynn Pope, once again questionable, to I Am LaShawn. And it's debatable whether, and here's the kicker. It's debatable whether Rebecca Lynn Pope actually believed what she said in that interview. And it's debatable whether Real Talk with Yanni actually believes that. I would argue that Real Talk with Yanni knows better. She posted it to be incendiary, right? She posted to be antagonistic to black men, right? I would argue that Rebecca Lynn Pope knows better. I would argue that the men are actually the true believers and the women are not. Oh, yeah, you heard right. I would argue that Tyler Perry actually believes that black women are doing better than black men. And that I Am LaShawn actually believes that black women are doing better than black men. I would argue Rebecca Lynn Pope knows better. And she said what she said anyway. And Real Talk with Yanni knows better. And she posted that video anyway. Hmm? Black men are doing better than black women, dear I Am LaShawn, financially. Are in less debt, start more businesses, have more wealth, right? But when you attend certain institutions and when you watch certain television shows and when you consume, excuse me, so much social media, particularly certain kinds of social media, certain content creators, then of course you come to the conclusion that I Am LaShawn comes to. And when you find out better and more information, you know what you end up doing? Doing what FD Signifier did on my channel when I spoke to him. And he made it seem like, because of course he had to, that black men are only earning more than black women as a function of the patriarchy and it's really sexism. Well, which one is it? Do black women want black men to earn more or do they not? No, black women are running into the same conundrum as every other woman in America right now. They want to earn more than their male counterparts right up until it comes time to get married. Then the vagina dries up if they have to end up with someone or they find someone appealing enough that they earn more than. It's I want to be a baller. I want to earn way more than everyone else, except for my future husband. And the math don't math. Huh? And the math doesn't math, right? So this 1 minute long clip does, yes, deserve all of this. You read through the comments in Real Talk with Yanni's comment section, and it's a whole lot of people capping. And I see y'all in the comments, right? I see y'all in the comments. It's a whole lot of people lying, right? Somebody's lying. So this video posted by Yanni has 16,000 views and nearly 400 comments. right? 16,000 views. That's 16,000 people that probably, for the most part, agree with this propaganda, this lie, including this brother. I want this brother to understand no matter what you do, you're still over here. You're still a black man, most likely straight black man. You're still a black man. You are one big toe away, one misstep away from being labeled the way we over here in the black manosphere are labeled and suffering the wrath of black women. But you already know that, don't you? That's why you pandering. Huh? You already know that, don't you? Huh? This is the pandering that we see in the black community. This is why black women have this angst, right? Regardless of how much she actually earns, regardless of her station in life, regardless of her class, there's this angst from the sister working at a retail store all the way up to the sister in the corner office. There's this I'm stuck with these inept, incapable black men angst. There's this resentment that I'm stuck with these inept men, these lesser men, these overgrown children that don't appreciate that his job in life is supposed to be the paymaster for me. Huh? And all Mr. I am LaShawn is engaging in is keep on turning that temperature up. All Real Talk with Yanni is engaging in is keep on turning that temperature up. Huh? This is going to end up hurting and harming black women far more than it does black men. Black men are used to this decades, centuries, decades. Huh? And Eric says, as Edward Anderson says, date out. And we already know if black women could, they would. Miss me with the loyalty talk. If black women could make something shake with these non-black men, they would. We know it, they know it, the non-black men know it. If black women in any significant number could really make something shake with white men and Latino men and Asian men, South Asian men, indigenous men, they would. The loyalty talk is to protect their goddamn ego, right? This is another example of how the propaganda is working in the black community. You have this relatively young black man spewing the same garbage as Real Talk with Yenny. That's why she posted it. Miss, I want to be a kinswoman of leisure. And what's the incentive? Of course she would post this. This speaks to women's solipsism. This speaks to women being myopic, short-sighted, seeing the world through a straw. Real Talk with Yanni, you earn over six figures. You earn six figures. You. Not most black women, not half of black women, not a quarter of black women, not even 10% of black women. You. And so you post this, and all of the women in your comment section are copping pleas and lying about how well they're doing financially in life. And all they need, as Mr. LaShawn said, is somebody to just be cool and carry their own weight. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, all we had from Kevin Samuels' channel is woman after woman after woman after woman after woman after woman, light skin, dark skin, East Coast, West Coast, tall, short, educated, not educated, huh? All describing baller men, black men or non-black men who earn significantly more than them. Uh-oh. Mr. LaShawn, which one is it? Mr. I am LaShawn, which one is it? You said they're just looking for men, black men, to carry their own weight. They're not trying to be gold diggers. But we have hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations that just Kevin Samuels alone did. We're not talking about daily wrap up crew. We're not talking about cruise season. We're not talking about just women in their cars railing against men, particularly black women railing against black men. We're not even going there with it. Where woman after woman after woman after woman after woman after woman, we're talking about black women once again, all describing like the top 5 or 10%. And what they continue to say, I'm not settling. Uh-oh. Shout out to Kendra G. Every single night. Huh? So fine, Kevin Samuels was too aggressive. He was too antagonistic. He was sexist. Okay, fine. What about Kendra G? Oops. Huh? What about Kendra G? Huh? So we're just gonna have night after night after night after night after night after video after conversation after conversation after conversation of black women telling you what they want, and then y'all be like, oh nope, fingers and ears, we don't hear you, la 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 la, right? So you're gonna tell us they're not gold diggers, they're just looking for somebody cool that just carry their own weight because women earn more than men. Meanwhile, there's a whole lot of women, regardless of where they fit in on the income scale, regardless of their education, regardless of whether they have children or not, regardless of all of that, describing the same about five, maybe if you're really, 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 really generous, 15% of men, if you're really generous. Huh? So in other words, Mr. I am LaShawn is telling us don't believe our lying eyes, our lying ears, our lying emotions, our lying thoughts. Don't believe none of that. All of that, all of that. Nope, nope, nope. Don't actually believe anything that you've actually seen and heard from black women. Listen to me, who's pandering to black women, about how they not really gold diggers. They just looking for somebody that's cool and that's not insecure, right? Because black women are earning more than black men. Huh? We all know it. He said we all know. Yeah, that's it. Huh? Trell, don't even go to it. Huh? We're not even going to talk about the 5'4", 189-pound ass black women asking for six-figure men. We're not even going to go there, Trell. Oops, look, my finger done slipped. Oops. Huh? Hmm. And KMS is, and thank you for the super chat. KMS is, question, how do they explain big dumb idiots that make their, oh, let's read that again. Question, how do they explain big dumb idiots, or quote unquote big dumb idiots, that don't make their bread through pro sports? How'd that work? You're still a big dumb idiot, right? You're a big dumb idiot because you're not married to a black woman like whatever phenotype that black woman is. And when we say big dumb idiot, read sexist, misogynistic, colorist, futurist, texturist, right? Black man who's self-centered, selfish, right? Because if you're not spending all of your money on whatever the nearest black woman is, wherever that nearest black woman is, then aren't you all of the epithets I just used? Huh? If you're in IT, you're two square. Huh? If you're in any white collar space, yeah, you pretty much fit the bill, but do you have an edge? If you're blue collar, you're probably lower class and you work with your hands and you probably come home smelly. Nope. Huh? If you're a teacher, you don't earn enough. If you're in the service industry, you don't earn enough, probably. Huh? There's always a reason to exclude. There's always a reason to insult. There's always a reason. And that's perfectly okay. That is part of women's prerogative. That is their choice. But then Mr. I am LaShawn doesn't get to tell us they're not gold diggers because the black woman who was a waitress at different establishments, both from low scale to upscale, for about a decade, she told us, yes, you heard right, that's a black woman, and I'll link it if I need to. She told us that when these women are on dates with black men, they extort them. Extort, you're trying to extort me? Y'all know Mr. Z was gonna say it. They extort them. They're picking the most expensive thing on the menu. But when they're going out with each other, they're slicing up the goddamn receipt. They're splitting the receipt. They're splitting the bill. Of course they are. Foodie calls. Wouldn't you classify that as a bit of gold digging, Mr. I am LaShawn? Huh? That's a black woman. I'll link it. That is a black woman who told us she was in the service industry. She was a waitress for a decade and she watched how women date, black women dated. And when they went out as homegirls, they cut the check up. Huh? They split the bill. Huh? So this is what pandering is, y'all. Shout out to I am I said I am. Shout out to AB Media. Um AB Media 83 who says it all the time, panda bears. This is what pandering looks like, right? KMS. It's just a power play. It's anything to for black women to feel like they're in a better position than you. They're the one doing you a favor. It doesn't matter how much you earn because she's going to be the one to bear the children, right? It doesn't matter what you bring to the table because she's the feminine one. And the intangible and tangible things that she brings to the table far outweigh your little money, right? It doesn't matter if you're a great father and a great husband because that's what you're supposed to do. What you looking for a cookie? Huh? It doesn't matter if you are all in the community and everybody knows your name and you helping people out. It doesn't matter because you're a good Samaritan. That's what you're supposed to do. Huh? Doesn't matter if you're a handyman. Aren't you a man? That's what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter if you're reliable and dependable. Aren't you a man? That's what you're supposed to do. It's all in attempts to say, look, it doesn't matter what you do, man, black man. I am better than you. It doesn't matter what you do, black man. As a black woman, I'm better than you. I'm not equal to you. I'm better than you. I do that equal talk for your ego. I'm better than you. Huh? And the only reason you don't realize that I'm better than you, once again, is because you're a colorist, futurist, sexist, texturist, misogynistic a-hole. Huh? Cue up Amanda Seals, cue up Dr. Bryant. Huh? Of course, Real Talk when Yanni posted this. Of course she did. Huh? And the women in her comments copping please. That's nearly 400 comments of mainly black women copping please. Real Talk with Yanni, those 400 women, and I know some of you brothers are in the comments too. Those 400 comments, all of those people earn more than the men they're coming in contact with. All of those women. You have 16,000 views on this video as of now. All of those people, mainly women, mainly black women, they're all interacting with men that earn less than them. Huh? They all are doing well financially, huh? They're all coming into contact with men who see them as gold diggers, but they're doing better than those men. They just want those men to just be cool and be able to afford your own stuff. Huh? Yeah. And I am LaShawn as a young black man. What are you experiencing that's causing you to go down this road? The pandering for black women road. Once again, not supporting them, not protecting them from sexist black men. Because if that's what she was doing, you wouldn't have this attitude. You would have got your facts straight. You're very clearly pandering. Brother, I don't know if they're ready for another Derek Jackson, brother. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I see you, right? But I don't know if they're gonna slot you into the Derek Jackson 2.0 lane. Nice try though. What are you seeing and what's going on that causes you to do this? By the way, being very factually inaccurate, by the way, black women are not earning more than black men. They don't have more wealth than black men. Everything else you said, you could debate that. But the crux, the foundation of everything you said is based off of this false premise that black women earn more than black men. They don't. They have the least amount of wealth of any race and gender demographic in America, minus maybe indigenous women. Huh? You're simply wrong. And what's very important, this is why what you're saying that is wrong matters. Because it's at the foundation of why you spoke the way you spoke. See that attitude you had, that contempt you had for black men you know that look just like you, that pandering you did for black women, all of that, the foundation is black women are holding down the black community. Black women have the black community on their shoulders. And look, all these sexist black men that's calling them gold diggers. All these black women really want is just some cool ass dude that'll carry his own weight and won't get in her way and is not sexist and isn't intimidated by her education and her income and all of that. No, sir. Huh? Do I need a link for you? The women that say, if I earn more than you, I will belittle you. Do I need a link for you? The women that said, what happened to the days when the men would provide, protect, and shut up? You think I am LaShawn is not running into that? No, he puts that in a separate category. Oh no, those are extreme women. I'm not talking about them. You think he never seen those videos? Put money, he's seen videos like that. But it's easy to say no. Oh, those women are fringe over there, not the men, huh? I guarantee you, Mr. LaShawn, think that he was. Oh no, no, I'm speaking good on black women. I'm protecting black women from men like you, Mr. Z. It's men like you that call these women gold diggers, and you call them 304s, and you call them yitches, and all that. I'm protecting them. Queen Earth, Mother Goddess, I'm protecting them from men like you sexist, misogynistic men. Yeah, that's it. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS also says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat or the Cash App. And KMS says, if black women made love to astronauts, there would be ninjas in space. An elder told me this in my 20s, and it became more evident as I got older. If we are dumb oafs, which is really what they think, I have no sympathy. Black women have the men they lay down with and the sons they don't raise. Uh-oh. You know, this argument, KMS, was made on the grapevine years ago. And a brother said something like, it's the men y'all are choosing. And it was very interesting response to that. And I loved it. I wish I would have been part of that panel. By the way, I was asked by one of the people once. I wrote a comment down in their comment section. We're talking about like 2012, 2013, and maybe 2014, something like that. And they asked me if I was in the New York region, whatever. So yeah, it just didn't happen. Obviously, I'm not in the New York region. Mr. Z's in South Florida, but that was neither here nor there. Okay, the response back to choose better was essentially, and y'all know where Mr. Z is going. Choose better what? Ain't nothing better to choose from, huh? And I can't recall if it was Carl or which one of the brothers that kind of just outright said it. Actually, didn't just kind of outright said that. And the response from one of the ladies on the grapevine was, "Choose better what? This is what we got." So, Camus, that would be the response to what you're saying. Choose better what? Now, what's fascinating by that, once again, we already know that there's 500,000 more black men that earn 50 and above. We already know that black men have more wealth than black women. We already know that black men earn more than black women. We already know that single black childless women have the least amount of wealth in America. We know this. We know about how many of them are getting evicted. We know this. We know that they carry the most student loan debt of any group in America. We know this. Huh? We know this. None of that matters when they're in a debate. None of that matters when it comes to ego protection. None of it. None of that matters when black men and black women and non-black folks are pandering to black women's ego. Y'all saw what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant said? She tell you she don't get disrespected from white men. The only little angst she get is from black men. Meanwhile, black women gotta help to pass the Crown Act because white men and white women are discriminating against them because of their hair. But don't let Dr. Cheyenne Bryant hear that, because what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is telling you, just to snipe at black men. That's why I tell y'all, let them talk. They make asses out of themselves just to snipe at black men. What Dr. Cheyenne Bryant told you was she don't get disrespected from white women, which is the funniest thing in the world, because like every other black woman on goddamn planet Earth would say different. But okay, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant tell you she don't get disrespected from white women. She don't get disrespected from white men. It's black men. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, black women got to help to pass the Crown Act because white folks are discriminating against them because of their hair. Oops. Meanwhile, there's no shortage of black women all the way from the most menial job all the way up to the goddamn boardroom who tell you it was hell getting into their position because non-black folks were discriminating against them and being racist towards them, including white men and white women, especially white women. Why is Mr. Z going off on a tangent? To emphasize that to spite black men, they'll say anything. To jab at black men, they'll say anything. Huh? They can know better. They can have experienced the goddamn anti-blackness and racism from a non-black person, and they'll still tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. The person that really give me the worst treatment is black men. Huh? So to what KMS is saying, the it's who they choose. What black women will respond to you, the ones that are a little bit wittier and quicker, huh? A little bit more sharp. What they'll respond to you is choose better what? This is what we got to choose from. Huh? Choose better what? Remember, we're talking about the people, both black men and black women, that write articles like black men are straight black men are the weakest link in the black community. Straight black men are the white supremacists of the black community. Remember, these are the type of people we're referring to. They're in their fucking weirdo liberal bubbles, fake progressives. They're in their weirdo bubbles regurgitating this type of incendiary, antagonistic language to straight black men, huh? Because this is how they get initiated. This is how they show they're part of the team. That's black men and black women. That's straight and gay. These are the same people that say, oh, black men, they're over here chasing after exoticals and white women. And y'all seen that NFL draft? Y'all seen that NBA draft? All the white women. Because you're supposed to stay in the black community and take this type of disrespect coming from Real Talk with Yanni and coming from I Am LaShawn. Dear young men, you're supposed to be lectured down to by a I Am LaShawn. You're supposed to be insulted and belittled by a Real Talk with Yanni. Huh? You're supposed to take that and still go out and earn great money and bring it home to mama because you're too dumb and stupid to know what to do with it. But remember, you can't call her a gold digger because that's not what she's doing. Ain't that right, Mr. LaShawn? She just want a cool dude, just carry your own weight because she earned more than you. Show me the numbers that say that, Mr. I Am LaShawn. What research, what data, what shows, where in anything shows black women earn more than black men? Black women have more wealth than black men. Sounds nice. And Mr. Z will continue to emphasize this. Why? Because at the foundation of much of black women's rhetoric is this idea that they're stuck in the black community with loser black men. Hmm? They're shackled to the bottom of society because they're shackled to black men. Incapable, inept, loser black men. And all I Am LaShawn engaged in here was saying, yeah, black women, you right, you right. And look, they call y'all gold diggers too. And that's not even what y'all trying to be. Yawn. And all this does is harm black women. It gives them a false sense of superiority, and they date with that false sense of superiority. And unlike I Am LaShawn, the average black man, especially young millennials and Gen Z, ain't eating that. They're not gonna take it. Sorry, I am LaShawn, and sorry, Real Talk with Yanni. Try again. Date out then. Remember, these are the same women that keep on telling us the white man ain't intimidated by my education, and he's not intimidated by my accomplishments. Remember, and these non-black men don't do it like this, and these non-black men. Okay, prove it. Huh? And Afro National says, I desperately want to know where they get their info. Bruh, I don't think first of all, these people aren't doing any research. So let's just put that on the table right there. But not only are they not doing any research, they don't feel like they have to. It's a given that black women earn more than black men. It's a given that the black community sits on black women's shoulders alone. It's a given. Don't you know? They don't have to do research because mama them said, because auntie them said, because of my lived experiences. Huh? It's a given. Don't you know? Just look around you. I forgot to say this yesterday when we were covering the African and ADOS conversation about is marriage beneficial to black women. If y'all recall, I think it was the African brother or was it the ADOS brother when they started speaking and started dropping facts. Don't forget that one of them sisters said, "I don't believe in facts." Y'all heard right? I don't believe in facts. Shout out to Namer. Where you at, Namer? F yo facts. Then I came in the door telling y'all that. I told you that's what they thought. F your facts. Freak your facts. Huh? BGS is here, or at least he was here. BGS will tell y'all I came in the door telling y'all black women are on some F your fact stuff. Shout out to Rogish. Shout out to the Roger Report. Everybody recalls. Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr. Shout out to Edward Anderson. I walked in the door telling y'all, oh yeah, none of that mattered. Black women already told y'all F your facts. Huh? Indigo the Brahmin. I hear you. F your facts. And Indigo says, I bet you believe in snacks though. Right. Huh? So Afro, it doesn't, for these people, none of that matters. For them, it's I walk out the door and my mom, my single mom raised me, and my aunties raised my cousins and them, and they were both single mothers, and my teachers were black women, and they mainly were single mothers, right? And the church I went to was pretty much full of single mothers, right? And these women are head of households, and they hold once again because y'all know they love saying it. They holding it down, huh? Right? Yeah. So where are they getting their information from? From their quote unquote lived experiences, huh? It's just their observation, huh? They don't think they remember in some of my older Xers, some of you Xers, any age, definitely the boomers in the room will remember this. Yeah, it was a good back and forth debate up until what, maybe the mid 80s, maybe the early 90s. And black women had a good almost 2 decade run where they just ran all of the conversation. White folks only gave them the mic. The only response you got from black men for the most part was off of those radio shows on Sundays and from rappers. Black women had a monopoly on the conversation for at least a good 2 decades. If we're being generous, only 2 decades, just about 2 decades, really since the plantation. But really, they had a monopoly on the conversation, huh? Social media is what really democratized the town square. and allowed for black men to give their piece. Even FD kind of conceded that point when I made it. Huh? Listen, Tommy Sotomayor was never supposed to pop. Kevin Samuels was never supposed to pop. Echoes of BGS's worldview was never supposed to pop. You recall, listen to how FD speaks about Angry Man. He thinks it's ridiculous that Angry Man is doing any type of numbers. Obsidian was never supposed to have any type of viewership. Especially Obsidian was never, ever, ever, ever supposed to cross swords with Bowser. That was never supposed to happen. Huh? That was never supposed to happen. Sarge Willie Pete was never supposed to have a following. Huh? And you better believe, oh, you better believe the PhDs in this space were never, ever, ever, ever supposed to step out of academia and say, oh, this is some BS. Oh, it's even worse than what y'all think. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm purposely not saying their names right now. That wasn't supposed to happen. Social media and the internet is what democratized the town square. I said it before. They thought it was the end of history. They thought they won the ideological debate. They thought it was done. They thought they were going to continue to produce the I Am LaShawns, the Derek Jacksons, the FD signifiers, the foreign man in the foreign land, the conscious Lees. They thought that was it. They thought the conversation was done. We got it. Yeah, there's some little straggling ass men that they don't really get it. But we won. The conversation is done. The debate is over. That's what these women thought. That's what some of them still think. That's how you get a Simone Sanders with who asks black men, or she was really directed that to Uncle Luke. But we understood what she was saying. Who asked black men for their unsolicited opinions? That's how you get that. That's how you get Tarana Burke and how she responded to Tariq Nasheed. I'm not going after no white man. I'm going after y'all, black men. That's how you get that. Huh? That's how you get Tiffany Cross. Black men stand in line next to behind black women. That's how you get that. Nina Turner told y'all what it is. The Democratic Party emasculates black men. No, America emasculates black men. Huh? Because we definitely seen how the Republican Party sunned the hell out of Tim Scott. Huh? Michelle Obama, all type of man. Meanwhile, Barbara Bush looked like the goddamn Quaker Oats man. Huh? In Detroit, I saw that. I saw that. And rest in peace. Right. Yeah, my boy told me about it earlier. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. Right. Huh. Exactly, KMS. Obsidian was never supposed to write them books. He was never supposed to write those books. Absolutely not. Do y'all understand how black women saw it? It was beyond a personal attack. I don't know if I have the word for it. What Kevin Samuels was an existential crisis. And rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. This is why we have our own theories. Shout out to Black Uru. Right? He was an existential crisis. Why? He did the worst thing you can ever do, ever. What's that, Z? Let black women talk for themselves. Oops. Huh? Let's move the white. Let's move the feminists out the way. Whether that's black, white, Latina, Asian, or otherwise, let's move them out the way so they don't try to curtail and give you the most flattering version of what you said. Nope, nope, nope. Let's move them out the way. Let's move the white folks out the way. Let's move the white media out the way. Huh? Here's a microphone, black women. Here's a camera. Tell us what you really think about men. Tell us what you really think about dating. Tell us what you're looking for. He did the worst thing ever. He let black women talk for themselves. Huh? And what did they do? What did everyone do? Everybody ignored what the black women were saying night after night after night after night and hyper focused on this black man and called him all type of sexist and misogynist. Not the black women that were calling in that boiled men down to walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs, walking ATM machines and overglorified guard dogs. Oh no, we ain't gonna say nothing about that. Whether she was educated or not, shout out to all you feminists. No, you know the educated women are not gonna look for that. Shout out to all of you bullshit. Huh? Whether she was educated or not, whether she had her own good money or not, whether she was quote unquote the preference or not, whether she was slim, whether she was big, whether she was from the East Coast, the West Coast, down South, Midwest, huh? Once again, menial job all the way to the upper echelon. It didn't matter. I'm a PhD. It didn't matter. We were never. There was never supposed to be a black manosphere. We're supposed to sound like FD signifier. We're supposed to sound like I am LaShawn. Huh? Shout out to Nas. And Trell says, all I need is one mic. Right? That's what we're supposed to sound like. Dear black men in the black manosphere. Oh, yeah, no, our existence is an affront to them. Absolutely, Candace. Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect word. Right? And with Kevin, just Kevin's mere existence and him putting a microphone and camera up and letting the women talk, it was the foil to all of that feminist rhetoric for decades, especially second wave feminism on up. Was that a good 5, 6 decades? About 6 decades, right? Letting black women talk and black women, it didn't matter. And you got to emphasize this. It didn't matter if she was educated or not. It didn't matter if she made good money or not. Women calling in, mainly black women calling in, and all of them looking for a goddamn walking ATM machine was a foil to everything they told us women were looking for. That would include you, Mr. I am LaShawn. Because you said, no, they're not gold diggers. They're looking for somebody that's cool and then you know that pulls their own weight. Isn't that what you said? Isn't that why you posted this, Real Talk with Yanni? Wait a minute, Real Talk with Yanni. Aren't you the one that said, what's the incentive? What's the incentive? I want to be a gentleman of leisure. So the woman that said, I want to be kept woman of leisure, who's addicted to toys, oops, that woman turns around and posts this. Are you posting this just to jab at black men like me, Real Talk with Yanni, or are you posting this because you really believe it? But if you really believe this, if this is really your life, no, you're just looking for somebody cool, you're not a gold digger, then what happened to the whole decenter men campaign? And your words, you saying, what's the incentive? I want to be a kept woman of leisure. Which one is it? Huh? Uh-oh. right? And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat or the Cash App. And KMS says, Black women, the poster child of doing way too much yet not nearly enough. Hysterical, right? These are the people that Black men in the Black manosphere occupy a community with. Pandering ass, lying ass Black men and lying ass Black women. Huh? From the Steve Harveys and the DL Hugleys of the world, huh? All the way across to the I Am LaShawns of the world, the Derek Jacksons of the world, the FD signifiers of the world. Everyone's telling Black men to protect, provide, and shut up. Uh-oh. And you better don't go nowhere either, Negro. You better don't hold that Latina's hand. You better don't marry that white woman. You better don't be more appealing to that Asian woman than that random white man is. Oops. Huh? You better not have that South Asian woman risking it all just to be in a relationship with you. But some racist ass, colorist ass parents would rather her come home with a white dude. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Because it's not fair. Because your sisters can't do it. Oh, I'm sorry, I framed that wrong. Your sisters are loyal to you. It's not that the non-black men ain't checking for Black women, it's that they're too loyal to Black men, unfortunately for them. Right? Much to their own detriment, they're too loyal to Black men. It has nothing to do with the anti-blackness in America. It has nothing to do with what white men think about Black women, and what Latino men think about Black women, and what Asian men think about Black women, and what South Asian men think about Black women. It has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. Nope. It's that Black women are too loyal to Black men. Ain't that right, Tanya TKO? Huh? That's what we. So once again, to I am LaShawn, brother. I don't know if they're gonna put you in the same lane as Derek Jackson. I see you. You lying as hell. You're factually inaccurate, but I see you. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Maybe you are like TikTok's version, right, of Derek Jackson, and maybe Black women really rock with you like that. Maybe, right? And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Maybe, maybe it's Mr. Z that's missing something, huh? Maybe it's Mr. Z. I'm missing out. I'm too sexist. I'm too colorist. I'm too futurist. I'm too misogynistic. Right. Meanwhile, it's funny you say what you said, Mr. I am LaShawn, because the woman that reposted your video on her YouTube channel, who has some 200 and some odd thousand subscribers, she is speaking about what's the incentive and I want to be a kept woman of leisure. But that's not gold digger talk. Why? Because she earns a good six figures? Huh? Yeah, that's it. Yawn. And Lord Lovesmith says, give me a few months, right? Oh, I think you can give it, but okay. Give me a few months and he will be exposed like the yogurt TikTok dude, right? I missed that yogurt TikTok thing. You got to explain that to me, right? Huh. And I won't be surprised, to tell you the truth, Lord Lovesmith, I won't be surprised because instead of Black women getting on Black men's program, they keep on trying to find these little weird places to kind of duck off and hide and right? And assuage their fear of being alone. I don't care about being alone. We all die alone anyway. I don't care about that. That's better than what I saw my auntie go through. I'll take it. We all gonna die alone anyway. Ladies, you do realize that black men are, wait for it, black, right? You do realize that our mothers are black, right? You realize our aunties are black, right? Our grandmas are black, right? Our sisters are black, right? Our girl cousins are black, right? For most of us, our girlfriends, our ex-wives, our wives, our significant others are black, right? You do realize that. You know we know you lying, right? Huh? Well, I like my peace. I don't want nobody around me anyway. I don't need nobody living with me. Yawn. Huh? I got too much to do anyway. I gotta focus on other things. Yawn. You know we know you lying, right? You know we know you're trying to protect your little fragile ass ego, right? Shout out to all the people that keep men got such fragile egos. Men have such fragile egos. Have you ever seen black women? Shout out to all of you. Men have such fragile egos. Have you ever seen black women? Huh? Shout out to all of you. You want to know how women have fragile egos writ large? Because you're hearing more and more people saying, hey, women, the way we kind of working with this equality thing, women might have to be the ones starting to approach men, kind of, sort of. And the woman said, I'll be damned. I'd rather cut my goddamn clit off. Y'all heard right? The woman said, nope, not me. Huh? Once again, patriarchy by feminist specification. The women said, the way my femininity is constructed, the way my femininity is made up, I'm not approaching no man. As Lion has said, feminarchy. They don't actually mean down with patriarchy. They mean down with the parts of patriarchy they don't like. The male leadership part of patriarchy. But they'll take a good 2, 3, 10, 15, a million scoops of that protector provider part. Oh, yeah, they'll take that. Huh? Yeah. And I said Edward, sorry, y'all. Eric Deadman, right? Eric says, meanwhile, Tamar Braxton got dumped by her zaddy again. White dude dumped her again? Huh? You mean the white dude that she was paying the bills for? Oops. Huh? This, we have to cover these things to emphasize why this brother came out here, guns blazing, being extra sassy, and I don't mean that in the anti-LGBTQ way. No, I'm saying sassy as in it's okay for everyone to be snarky and sassy and mean and condescending to straight black men, particularly black people in the black community. We just get off on it. We get off on lecturing to straight black men. And so this brother came out being extra sassy and snarky to straight black men, and he's factually inaccurate. But it won't matter because it doesn't matter. It's the way black women feel. And what they feel is he's doing the right thing. So he doesn't have to be factually accurate. This is what an ally looks like. This is an ally. Huh? What an ally looks like is a person that talks down to black men for black women. Huh? That's what an ally looks like. And so that's what they would categorize what I am LaShawn is engaging in here. It doesn't matter if he's factually inaccurate. It doesn't matter if he's pandering. As a matter of fact, they would rather him pander. He doesn't have to be factually accurate when he does it either. They would rather him pander. As a matter of fact, in weird ways, him going this far to pander to black women is actually preferable. It shows that he knows which side to be on. Uh-oh. Huh? And to what you're saying, Mr. Deadman, it doesn't matter to black women whether white men could you could have a number of white men public like big time public black men, excuse me, black women getting broken up by or broken their white boyfriends. Mr. Z getting himself tongue tied now. Their white boyfriends and husbands and whatnot, divorcing them and breaking up with them. It won't matter, right? Because it's the idea of upward mobility and what a white man represents, what white men represent, what non-black men represent, and it's black women being liberated from being stuck in the black community with black men. Huh? That's what this is about. What does the white man represent in the minds of black women? So it doesn't, Tamar's white zaddy could break up with her and they could get back together and then break up. He could do something heinous. It doesn't matter because in the minds of black women, what do non-black men, particularly white men, represent? Liberation. Ooh, Z. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Access, status, upward mobility. Huh? Desirability. Huh? And that's exactly what it is. And I'm Waffle says Edward Anderson called it lie to me economy. And that's what I am LaShawn engaged in, right? And once again, Eric Denman, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat and Cash App. But yeah, right. That's what this is. We're gonna continue to see this. I don't see the black community getting out of this anytime soon because brothers like this are rewarded with views and sometimes money, right? They're rewarded for this. And it doesn't matter how wrong they are, how factually inaccurate they are, and how much they actually just add more wood to that fire of black women's angst and anger and resentment at black men, including black men like him, which is fascinating, right? The black women that know him on social media, maybe not them, but random black women that feel a certain way about black men, he's in the same boat. That brother's in the same boat as black men like Mr. Z. All that pandering mean nothing, especially if those black women don't know who you are. But even if they do know who you are, brother, you only one misstep away. You're only one misstep away from them putting their foot in your ass, right? So his pandering to them, that's what's supposed to happen. He's on the right side of history in their minds. And it doesn't matter whether what he's saying is correct and factual. As I said, shout out to Lewis. I call him Louis. Shout out to Louis. Red pill sleeper cell. When you're getting towards the end of that stream that I covered yesterday, right? That clubhouse stream. As you get towards the end, you hear one of the sisters. I can't recall if it was the African sister or not, but you hear one of them just straight up say, "Yeah, I don't believe in facts." Something like that. I don't believe in facts. Or I don't believe in this data. I don't. And it says everything you need to know. If it's not quote unquote edifying to me. Oh boy. Huh? Oh yeah, I ain't seen Mr. Z saying that tonight, huh? If it doesn't edify me, then there's no reason for me to believe it or to let that seep into my subconscious. Oh boy. If it doesn't edify me, it doesn't if it doesn't uplift me, huh? Yeah, y'all heard right. And KW Don says, and thank you for the super chat, choose better from what? That's one of Cynthia G's talking points, and we see how that ended. Someone who solicits D picks as a vetting strategy. Shaking my damn head. Right. Well, we already see what she chose. She had an internet presence. She could have had a child from anyone. She could have gotten married to any one of these content creators. We see what she chose. When Cynthia G had a choice to choose whoever, we see who she chose. And did that stop? Did she acknowledge her hypocrisy? Did she acknowledge her flawed reasoning and logic? Oh boy, Z, you in some dangerous territory now. Talking about black women and logic right now. Huh? Did she? Absolutely not. She continued. As a matter of fact, you could say she quadrupled down on the neo-Nazi rhetoric. Huh? So when black women say there's no men to choose from or this is what we have, implying that all we got is trash, that's what they're implying and suggesting when they say that. When they say that, fine, perfectly okay. Then eat that, huh? Eat the consequences of feeling, believing, thinking that way. Eat that. Eat consuming content, consuming media that pushes the same type of rhetoric that Real Talk with Yanni does, that I Am LaShawn does. Huh? There's a consequence to that. And they don't have to believe us either. But there's a consequence to that too. Right? There's a cost to these worldviews. People have some of the most horrendous view of other people, of other groups, right? Of certain political and social ideologies. You got to eat the consequences of your own worldview. When it comes crashing down on you, you got to eat that. If you think black men are mouth breathing idiots who are sexist, misogynistic, colorist, featurist, texturist, and they're too dumb to even realize that you're putting your hand out to help them. I heard you, Bowser. She said that years ago, right? Or at least over a year ago at this point. If that's what you believe, then eat the consequences of watching your sister girls tell you how happy they are being single when in the back of your mind you know they're not. Because they believe just like you, right? People must live in some alternate universe where they're the ones who can be spiteful and no one else can. They can be snarky and no one else can. They can be mean and no one else can. Especially for women, black women, right? This is when they start getting into that, oh, he being sassy. And that's a translation. That's just translation for he talking back, right? That's just them trying to shame you for maybe being wittier than them and funnier than them, and your responses are just funnier than theirs is, right? Huh. I, so, I just wanted to come to y'all with this tonight because even though it's only a minute long and Mr. Z has dedicated damn near an hour and a half to this, um, once again, and I really want to stress this, at the foundation of Black women's angst and resentment at Black men is really this belief right here. Do all Black women believe this? No. But even for the ones that don't believe it and actually know better, many of them will still pander to this, right? Many of them will still push this message and pander, right? Huh. I definitely want to stress that. Shout out to I am LaShawn because he engaged in with this exactly what we speak about. Listen to his delivery, not just the words. Listen and watch his facial expressions. It's these women are doing y'all a service anyway. Do you understand? They do it better than you. You're the burden. You talking about gold digging? What gold is there to dig? You're the burden. Listen to him speak. Look at his facial expressions. You the one coming up off of her. Mr. Z, he didn't say all of that. Yes, he did. Those are not the words he used. Huh? She gonna be the one doing the heavy lifting in the relationship. If y'all do get in a relationship, you should be lucky to have her. Mr. Z, he ain't say all that. Yes, he did. Huh? Yes, he did. Right? Huh? And once again, KW Don, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, thank you for the super chat. And like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat or the cash app. And KMS says, U.S. poured billions into the prison industrial complex, locking up Black men. With merely a fraction of that money spent, they could have invested in Black men en masse to an exponential benefit of this nation. Black women run the same dumb play. Look, whiteness is bigger than the money, right? Whiteness is bigger than the money. Shout out to Black Uru. Me and Black Uru have had this conversation. Forget millions of dollars or billions of dollars. These people are willing to dump quadrillions of dollars, if possible. Not millions, not billions, not even trillions, quadrillions of dollars, if possible, to keep their worldview as the predominant worldview, their culture as the predominant culture. And they don't care if they have to destroy the world, destroy humanity. I can't remember the quote exactly. And if somebody can find it, please either link it now, email it to me. Shout out to the replay squad, replay gang. It's a quote that, and I can't remember who it came from, but I'm a paraphrase. It said something like, if America can't be ruled or run by white folks or white people, then it's better that it burns to the ground, or it's better that it just melts away, something like that, right? And hopefully one of y'all, shout out to the replay gang, somebody heard this quote also before, and if you haven't, if anybody want to look it up, as I've tried, I can't find it, right? And let Z be honest with y'all, I did a shallow try. I've looked for it multiple times, and I heard this quote over a decade ago, maybe. maybe a decade ago, but I'm almost certain it was over a decade ago, and I cannot find this quote. I know it exists because like I went to go look for it, and I felt like I got real close. Like I was breadcrumbing it, and then I just couldn't. Yeah, just I hit a wall, and I just stopped trying. And every once in a while, I'll go and search for it again. But I think I'm using the wrong words. But yeah, it was somebody important. It was either like a Supreme Court judge or obviously white, or mayor or Congress member, or senator, something like that, right? But yeah, so going to what KMS is saying, yeah, and for black women who are signing up for this, well, if you want to be queen of the ash pile, then you can be, but black men are not going to be there. That's one of your issues, right? Black women have really put themselves into a pincer move. When I say golden girls, I'm not joking, right? I'm not joking. If they're not doing the social math, clearly Real Talk with Yanni is not doing the social math. Even for her own life, let alone the life of her subscribers or black women writ large. She's not doing the social math. If and the reason why they're not doing the social math is because of delusion, right? And it's too depressing. But fine, let's go through it. If black men are dating out and marrying out, very specifically, if black men are marrying out, we even got to count the dating numbers because that'll be insane for you know black men that exclusively date outside the race and have mixed children. Fine, cool. If black men newlyweds are marrying out at something like 25%, non-black men, white men in specific, only marry black women at 0.5%. Let's be super generous. Let's throw 1%. Let's say 1%. Let's double it and be generous and say 1%. Do black women not understand the pincer move they put themselves in? Most women are not trying to eat vagina. That includes black women. Will a disproportionate amount of black women engage in that? Yes, but even most black women ain't trying to do that. Yes, I saw the clip from um this is the brother's name again. Accountable commentary. Yeah, I saw it. And yet as a part two. For those of you that don't know what Mr. Z is referencing, the LGBTQ sister, blue dreads, who says she's getting tired of dating these women, and she walks you down some of the story of it. Then she does a part two, and she walks you down the rest of the story. And then at the end, she says, "For all you men wilding in my comments," or something like that, I'm paraphrasing. I still love the women, and essentially, like, lady, you were just complaining. You're gonna keep on running into that because you're not being honest with yourself. They see you as a safety net away from men for the short term for most of them. It's something that butch lesbian women already know. They already know it. Some of them have come to terms with it, some of them have not. Women go to y'all after they've exhausted all of their options and viable men. That's why they're reluctant and munching on you. That's not what they're there for. They're there for you to be paymaster because the men are not being paymaster, right? After they already got a name in the city and dudes already done with them, they end up with y'all. Y'all already know this. Miss me with the, oh, y'all are afraid that we're gonna take all of your women. Stop it. Y'all be cheating on them with dudes and they be cheating on you with dudes. Oops. Wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Y'all cheating on the femmes with dudes and the femmes are cheating on y'all with dudes. Dear butch LGBTQ women, particularly the black ones, y'all know what this is. Stop lying to yourselves. There's a whole lot of butch LGBTQ women lying to themselves. They know. They know what those women are there for. Everybody trying to protect their goddamn ego and not be honest with what they're seeing, what they're experiencing. Right? And we're back. So, Going to what KMS is saying, yeah, no, America and black women engaging in this, it's only going to harm them. It's going to harm them more than anyone else, right? Stepping on black men in a way that you think and feel is beneficial to you actually harms you because black women are attached to black men by the hip and they can't get away from it because it was never up to them anyway. It's up to white folks. And they'll placate black women, but they're never going to let them shackles off. Black women are attached to black men by the hip. And they could do this the easy way or the hard way. Yes, the reference. We could do this the easy way. Right? And America can't get away from what it's done to black men. Because unfortunately for them, their white sons, their working class, working poor, middle class white sons are attached to black men by the hip. Ooh. And don't you know they hate to hear that? Yeah, it'll happen to us first, whatever the negativity is, and it'll happen to us the most. But you better believe once you once you open the door for it to happen to black men, you automatically open the door for it to happen to white men. Anybody want to talk about the drug epidemic? Oops. Huh? Once you open the door and it's okay for white police officers to harm black men and get away with it, then guess what? Then they have the right to harm white people, white men, and get away with it. And they do. Huh? Once you open the door for white officers to plant drugs on black folks, then you automatically open the door for them to plant drugs on non black folks. Black men. Huh? And for black women and for white folks, until you do right by me, right? Until you do right by black men. Everybody gonna feel this pain. Huh? Until you do right by black men. Everyone's gonna feel this. Everyone, no one will go untouched, unscathed. No one. Not you Asians. I see Asians. I see Asians. I see y'all ducking and dodging and trying to avoid it. Whoa, don't. No, I don't want my sons to be treated like black men. You're right. And guess what? None of these women are trying to pipe your goddamn sons. Oops. Y'all work so hard for Asian boys and Asian men not to be treated like black boys and black men. Y'all push them all the way to the opposite side. Whoopsie. Huh? And K-pop is not going to fix it either. Stop it. Huh? I see all those South Asians ducking and dodging and making sure they grow their hair just long enough so you don't mistake him for a black man, for a black boy. I get it. Not good enough, but okay. Huh? Everybody gonna feel this. America will do right by black men, or America will crash and burn, trying to keep its foot, its knee on black men's neck. That's how that's gonna go. Huh? Exactly, Mr. Donnie Mac. Till you do right by me, everything you do gon' fail. right? And that's what it is. So on that note, everyone, shout out to Real Talk with Yanni for posting this. Um, Shout out to Mr. I am LaShawn. Brother, whoo, you on the wrong side of history, but okay. Okay, all right, right. And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. Ooh, you on the wrong side of history, but okay, all right, all right. I guess this is your way of defending and protecting Black women's honor and defending and protecting Black women from Black men like Mr. Z by straight up being factually inaccurate and lying to them and placating them and pandering to them. Fine. And you will be, like many others, much of the reason why Black women will spend decades single and childless and miserable and pretending not to be. Oh, you imagine being miserable and pretending not to be? Huh? You imagine crying yourself to sleep at night because of loneliness and you got to pretend like you didn't? Oh, the worst. Huh? You imagine? You imagine feeling supremely lonely and pretending like you're not? Oh, that must have been torture for Lonnie Love. You imagine gambling wrong and divorcing your husband and pretending like you don't regret it? Oh, to the twin. Oh, that must be the worst. Huh? You imagine? You imagine still feeling a certain way for not being built like the quote unquote preference and acting like you've reconciled with that to yourself and you really haven't, and every time one of these quote unquote preferences says something you don't like, you make a think piece about it, pretending like you are okay with what you see in the mirror, but you're really not. Shout out to you, Bowser. You imagine pretending like you okay? Oh, gotta be the worst. Huh? Talking about Nishi Nash, shout out to Detroit. You imagine not making it work with men, Black men, being in Hollywood, and you already know what the white boys is on. That's why you're not with one of them. And so now you're with the woman, and you telling us how love is love, and you telling about your love story, and you know now this is your thing. You imagine pretending like this is really what it really is. You're really happy. Oh, it got to be the worst. Got to be the worst, huh? Exactly, I'm waffles. It wasn't a divorce; it was a graduation. You imagine the lengths that women will go in, Black women in particular, will go into to make every single thing they do empowering and liberating. Oh, the way they tie themselves into a pretzel, into a knot, to make everything, every decision they've ever made somehow has some storybook ending and it ends out great. From the twin to Jenny Mai to Lonnie Love. It's funny that all of them went on the goddamn same show, right? To Real Talk with Yanni, to Chrissy. Everything they say, everything they do, every thought they have, every feeling they have, somehow when they speak it's always couched as some type of empowering, liberating. At the end of this, I'm just gonna win. I'm gonna win the lottery. It's always framed like that. It's never, damn, I messed up. Ooh, I messed up. Ooh, I done messed up. Ooh, I gotta go look in the mirror. Ooh, I messed up. I zigged when I should have zagged. Not never. Ooh, okay, look, I took him for granted. Ooh, I messed up. Ooh, my ex left me. Ooh, I messed up. It's not never. Huh? Ooh, I can't attract the type of men I'm into because I am insufferable. Ooh, I'm mean. I am. I'm way too sassy. I'm doing too much. Huh? It's never that. Not never. Huh? This obsession with that, it's gonna be one of their downfalls. Huh? You watch Crystalline Kerosene swirl her way right into divorce. Huh? You watch her swirl herself right into divorcing the white dude. Saint Cyr says, "Don't forget the wait, Z. You mean the heavy-set sister that called herself Juicy on Kevin Samuel's show? The pleasantly plumped women, the quote-unquote thick women, built like a goddamn bowling ball, but calling herself thick? All these euphemisms and just excruciatingly soft language to tiptoe around their feelings. You talk the African sister and the other sister on that clubhouse video keep on tiptoeing around men's feelings. You keep on tiptoeing around their feelings. I'm tired of tiptoeing. I think I saw a comment or two like that in Real Talk with Yanni's video. Oh well, what she posted from Mr. I am LaShawn. I'm tired of tiptoeing. Z, don't leave the joke. Don't use it. Don't use it. Too easy. Too easy. Tiptoeing. Huh? So, we'll pause right here. And Mr. JL West says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. JL West. And JL West says, supporting the stream. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right. And to Mr. I am LaShawn, brother, if you're gonna, you look, you're just wrong. There's just no other way to say it. Mr. Z spent damn near 2 hours saying it. You're just wrong, brother. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. There's no other way to say it. And what you're pushing here is much of the reason why black women have this resentment and this angst towards black men, because they really think that they're stuck in the black community with black men who are beneath them. But thank you for pushing this, even though it's factually inaccurate. Thank you for making Mr. Z's job that much more harder, right? That much harder. Thank you, right? You're just wrong. You're factually inaccurate. But it doesn't matter, huh? Because you kind of want to jab at black men for black women, right? Straight black men for black women, right? Because I could see that in your facial expressions. I could see that. You think you're doing black women a solid with this one. We'll see. Brother, you still young. Let's see where black women's marriage rate is in 20 years, including their interracial marriage rate. Let's see what their poverty rate is in 20 years. Oops. Huh? Let's see. Let's see how their wealth increases or decreases or stays stagnant at best in the next 20 years. Let's see whether brothers like you push the envelope in any way humanly possible, in any way. Brothers like you, brothers like FD Signifier, brothers like Foreign Man in a Foreign Land. Let's see. Because it's easy to call brothers nig cells. It's easy to say these women ain't gold digging, and that sound nice. They just looking for somebody cool to chill with. Okay. It's easy to say that. We'll see. Huh? Red Falls Black says, Ninja, stay dirty macking, bro. Even, the most frightening thing, Red Falls Black? These brothers, half the time, it's not even about the vagina for them. Like, these brothers should really be true believers. They really be true believers. Some of these brothers got girlfriends, they good, they straight. They're really true believers. They really think they're doing black women a solid by punching on black men. And by saying this weirdo stuff, they really think they're doing black women a solid. Look, black women, I'll ride with you. Huh? And Afro National says, and thank you for remembering that. Afro National says, as you say, Z, the Brazilification is upon us. Somebody tried using that, by the way. I can't remember where I heard it. I was like, you dirty mother. Right? Where did I hear? Somebody tried using it. I was like, oh, y'all stole that from Z. Ain't nobody. And when I say I listen to a lot of stuff, I listen. Mr. Z, you don't know where Mr. Z gonna pop up in these YouTube streets, right? And somebody tried saying something similar. I was like, bruh, if you don't stop, it wasn't even Black Manosphere. It was like, it was, I can't remember exactly, but I heard, I was like, oh, I should have trademarked that. I should have trademarked it. Right? What the comedians say, it don't matter who told a joke first, it's the one who blows up, right? Kind of messed up, but yeah. I'm not even gonna say the other word that I said once, and Black Uru told me you need to trademark that. Right. So, okay, on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all night. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Much of the reason why y'all hear it echoing is because Mr. Z could not sit in the car because Mr. Z drove the Z. Unless y'all want to hear with Mr. Z talking, y'all want to hear that in the background. Right? So yeah, I'm saving y'all ears. Right? So yeah, Mr. Z drove the Z today, so I could not record in the car. I love the way the the car is good insulation, by the way. For random people, the car is good insulation. Right? So yeah. So we'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Y'all, go look at, go touch some grass, go go learn something, right? And y'all have a great rest of y'all night. And Mr. Z out. All right, everyone.